Thank you for that, Bobby. Martin, Martin, thank you for that. That was a perfect transition between the previous story and the story I want to tell, which is a little less entertaining. So, my name is Kimbria, and I'm one of the bookends. And share Doug's memories from 7th grade, except there were 8 of us. I had a boyfriend named Skip at the time. So there's 2 stories I want to tell, or 2 things I want to share with you about Bobby. The first one is that Bobby was a member of my family too. Where's my tissue?
Oh, someone get her a tissue.
Here. I got a box. Here's got one. Okay, so Bobby was a member of my family. He was the only boy that was allowed in the house when my parents were home. He called my mom either Mom or Mrs. B, and they had their own relationship. And he could just walk in the house anytime. If he needed something, he could come and talk to my mom about it. And they had a very special relationship. When Bobby, on one of his adventures past, needed a job, my mom said, come work at Rich Door and put up overhead type doors, She was always there for him, and he always appreciated it. And if you look at the screen when it's running, you'll see a picture of Bobby with the girl, and Bobby's wearing a tuxedo, and I'm putting on his corsage. That was my prom, because I dated an older guy who said, I'm not going to high school prom. So I asked Bobby, and he took me to my prom. And the first picture is when I'm putting the corsage on him, and he's looking at my mom, and she's taking the picture. And he's like, here I am, didn't I do good? We're going to the prom. And so I just wanted you all to know that, we all have parts of Bobby in our lives. I have Bobby when he was 10 years old, when he was 14 years old, when he was 18 years old, when he was 24 years old, when he was 30 years old, 35. And all of these Bobbies are different Bobbies. And some of you knew him before I did, and some of you knew him after I did. And so you're carrying different Bobbies in your DNA, because every time you hug someone, every time you kiss someone, every time you shake somebody's hand, you're exchanging DNA with them. And you're going to carry that DNA with you for the rest of your life. Like, I have so much Martin DNA in my body for all the sisters that I've hugged and all the brothers that I've hugged. And all of you have different bodies in your body. And when you hug other people, you're kind of sharing your bodies. So that's what I told the nephews. I said, you guys have different bodies in your body than I do. I have all the young bodies up to, early middle age. But I don't have the later bodies. And so when you hug me, then you're giving me your bodies. So when you're going and talking to people, shaking hands, hugging people, tonight, share your bodies. Think of the times that you hugged Bobby, that you shared with him, that nobody else has. And we change throughout our whole life. We're not the same person through our whole life. So please feel free to go ahead and give me your bodies. And I'll give you my bodies, and I'll also give you my mom's bodies from when my mom hugged Bobby. So I want to encourage you. See, we're all really immortal. We're all living on. I gave these boys my bodies. They're going to give them to their children. And it's just going to go on and on and on. So just remember, we all have our own bodies, and we should share them as much as possible. Okay?
Yeah.